of our stream. So we're going to take a look at Grunty's build. And here it is. Chag, you say the most difficult stuff in the world. Yeah, you had to do it twice. I've had to do it before too. And thank you, Chag. Yeah, I mean, some people have mentioned that, his longevity is because of the good care that we took of him, and that means a lot. It really does. He was in a litter of four boys, which is odd, rare for a cat litter, and he is the last. He's the last survivor of that litter. He beat everybody else by 3 or 4 years. So, yeah. So that's, to me, he's had a great run. I'll miss the hell out of him when he's gone, but I'm very blessed that he's been with me for so long. So, you're from a litter of 3 boys? Well, okay, Duckman. All right, Grunty, are you ready to talk about your ship and stuff?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I mean,
Rob, no, you weren't around, so we're doing his next, and we'll do yours after, okay?
so I think there is not much choice for the modules on a Jaeger. Like, the only thing you can do here is not use the whole speed boost mod.
Right.
Everything else is pretty standard for a torpedo boat, and there is no reason whatsoever to not spec it as a torpedo boat.
Yeah. Yeah. The Jaeger's characteristics, we should go back for a second and just mention Jaeger's characteristics. She's got a ton of torpedoes. You can just vomit them out. They're 12-kilometer torps. What is it, 15 total torps in a spread?
12.
12. It's 4x3. So lots of torpedoes. Reload relatively quickly. They're European destroyer torpedoes, so they're fast, and they don't have the greatest of flooding chance. So yeah, you build a strip to strengths. You're going to build this for torpedoes. Absolutely, I agree with you there. You put the engine boost modification on so you can relocate much quicker, get in front of enemies. Sure. Propulsion, so you plan on maybe stopping and going quite a bit. Your
The rudder
maneuverability
shift is quite good. There is no
Yeah.
real reason to improve the rudder shift even further.
Right.
No.
Okay. Let's take a look at your captain build. Is this a special captain?
No, it's not.
Okay. Because Swirsky is most people probably have him on a gunboat build, especially with like a small end or something.
Yeah,
So-
I have him there too. Like, he would be great on this ship, but like, you have to make a choice. You want it on your good gunboats like Smaland or Ragnar or even the new line,
Right.
or do you want him on a torpedo? Like, you can definitely run it on a torpedo boat, like use him on a Halland and on Jaeger. That's probably have to alternate the build a little bit, but it's definitely possible.
Okay.
And it comes down to preference. What ship do you play more? And the thing
Yeah.
with Tversky though is like the reload on these torpedoes is already so short, and at some point, like, yeah, you can, if you have enough torpedo hits, you can lower it down by another 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, it becomes, you don't really need it anymore. You're vomiting out torpedoes so much anyway.
Right.
And you might even run out of targets in range, so you could even use your torpedoes on cooldown.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. So, what you've done here is, and I would agree with you. Like, you've seen me play torpedo destroyers. I don't get a lot of hits, so I'm not going to proc Jersey that much. So,
That's
anyways,
because you die in the first 3 minutes.
well, I do my part, sir. I do my part. So let's take a look at your build. You start with preventative maintenance, going into Swift Fish, and then you go survivability and concealment. Now, you said you didn't take Last Stand, and this is the game that makes you reconsider taking Last Stand. Is that correct?
Kind of. I mean, it made me reconsider like the whole time. I noticed through all the games that the engine and the rudder are really bad, and everything that hits you kills the engine.
Yeah.
This was the first game where I actually died because of it.
Now, what I found is, for me personally, whenever I pop engine boost, my engines get knocked out right away. So if I would say, if you're,
It's
Go
also a thing with having the special module here. You don't get the extra protection for your
Correct.
engine from the regular mod.
Correct.
The whole
So,
idea of the build is like you have a super stealthy destroyer that is the stealthiest in class,
mm-hmm.
and I want the swift in silence because my guns are bad anyway, and I want to be able to relocate quicker. So maybe I get away with it not getting spotted that much and not getting shot at very much,
Right.
so that it doesn't actually matter that I don't have last stand because I'm not gonna get hit a lot. And if I do get hit once or twice, I just repair my engine and be dark again and everything is fine. But unfortunately, that's not really the case.
Uh-huh. So, I would say, you could, instead of running this mod, you could always run engine room if you want to keep last stand off, just as a better chance to
It's not
keep your.
enough. It's not enough.
Well,
I tried it on EU. It's not enough. Like I
okay.
have the ship on both accounts. Everything that hits the ship kills the engine or the rudder.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what it
Okay.
is.
So then last stand is really important.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you really don't have any good disengagement options other than not getting spotted. So
Not
if a
getting
CV
spotted and the
decides,
speed, yeah.
yeah, if like a CV decides to sit on you, it's GG.
Like
Good
it was.
survivability
I think it
aspect.
was worth. I think it was worth the experiment of like just having the faster torps, but I think you just give up the torp speed, the 5 extra knots there, and take the last stand and live
Okay.
with it.
So
I honestly
what?
don't think the 5% is really worth it anyways.
So what you're saying is this would be a better build? Is what you've decided?
In this case, I would probably take the liquidator over the preventive maintenance.
Okay. I was just gonna mention that, and that is because of the fact that you're planning on your engines breaking anyways. It doesn't really matter. Now this does help
Right.
prevent your torpedo tubes from being incapacitated as well. So
Didn't have much problems with the torpedoes getting knocked out yet.
okay. Well, you do have two modules that help with your torp tubes, right?
Right.
So, that
And the
makes
flooding
sense.
chance is really low, so having the extra is quite nice.
Yeah, I agree. And then
And
this.
a lot of your damage comes from the flooding because the torpedo damage is so low, so
Yep, and this you can see adds risk of. So these two reduce, and then your last one adds risk. So you kind of a net zero out of that. But if you're not finding your torpedoes blowing up much, then yeah, you don't need this. With the flooding with liquidator up, your flooding chance is 185% per torpedo. So I mean, that's very nice. Let me just do this for a sec.
the
Yes,
alternate
so-
build here is obviously like you just drop the Swift in silence completely
Mm-hmm.
and say you don't want it, and then you can pick up your top speed again, or you can pick up adrenaline rush if you want it, which makes sense if you use Swirsky
Yeah.
because it's a buffed skill on him.
Right. Okay.
And then you can pick up preventive maintenance and adrenaline rush, for example,
Mm-hmm.
as a
Okay.
standard torp build, which would also work very well on a Holland or a Dalarna or
Mm-hmm.
whatever you want to put Swirsky on.
You could also go for a dazzle. Help you get out of
No.
trouble. No. All right. Moving on. Let's look at your flags. Anti-det fire and flood chance, fire extinguishing time, flooding recovery time, extra flood chance, heal and speed and consumables. Now you didn't do this one because you're not planning on firing your main guns. Anti-air, who cares? You got no anti-air anyways. Yeah.
Yeah. The nice
Okay.
thing about the Swift and Silence is though if you combine it with the speed boost, like you can go 45 knots,
Right.
which is pretty damn good for a torpedo boat.
Right, and then you add to that your extended propulsion mod, so you're going really fast for a really long time. You said there's a death pick in this one, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can figure out when.
Okay. Now let's get into the game. Then we'll take a look at your lineup. So we've got no carriers and one sub.
It's kind
It's
of
not-
a matchmaking dump, though.
It is because it's a mismatch with battleships. I'm sure you would have rather had the 4 battleships over here on the other side. Okay.
There's also a slight mismatch in destroyers. They have a Star Kitakazi. You have
Mhm.
They have 2 tier 9s. You have 1.
Yeah, we got
Okay.
yeah we got the Duncan extra or whatever.
Well, we are getting
I
into
actually,
this.
I think this is actually a good match for you. Like, torpedo boats don't mind getting up tiered as much.
It's the matchmaking wouldn't be so bad. The problem is the sub is on my side.
Mhm.
Eh, unlucky.
Separate armament reload indicators. Why wouldn't you want that on? Timers and
Like,
modifiers. Okay.
like the sub's gonna oppress you no matter what destroyer you take. But
Oh,
in this case, I would rather have a Jaeger than almost any other tier 9 ship destroyer
But
right now.
see, the problem is I'm relying on the fact of not getting spotted and everything, and having the sub on this side is completely ruining this.
mhm.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
I
but
cannot rely on the fact anymore that I'm gonna be the stealthiest ship on this flank and never get spotted.
Right. Okay.
at the same time, you can take any other tier 9 destroyer and, well, you still get outspotted, and you're still kind of inferior to everything else.
I'd
So,
rather be a C-46 here, though, for example.
Torpedos auf Steuerbord!
At least I'd feel
See,
more comfortable if I was in a C-46 this game than in a Jaeger.
could see that.
The nice thing about the 46, of course, is you get the hydro, which really does help. I'm gonna go
Right.
ahead and do my draw for you guys. Oops. Last chance to get into the giveaway.
Maschinenboost aktiviert.
So there's the Kitakaze. You were never detected, right?
I was not.
Yeah. Okay, so why the engine boost then? Just to make sure you can't be detected? Just to get away?
Yeah, I think so.
I would do it. You don't want to get spotted.
I agree.
And destroyers can close on each other very quickly.
Nice torpedo hits. Hey, look, you got 2 floods already.
Oof. Yeah, you'd land a 1 torp on the Star Kitakaze, it did like 0 damage.
Yep.
That's
But-
that's the
Right.
problem. Like, I play a very similar build on my Yugumo, and if that was a Yugumo torp hitting the Kitakaze,
Mm-hmm.
it'd be so
That
much
also
better.
assumes you hit it on the Kitakaze.
Right.
I mean, he was in smoke, like he didn't spot the
Torpedoes
torpedo,
off
so
backboard.
I assume he would have taken the. But yeah, here's the thing: like sub
Torpedoes
pops out,
after
like
I would have not opened fire there. I would have
Oh.
just
Torpedos
and
after
hope for the
aus.
best.
Yeah, you ended up taking a salvo.
I was. I took a salvo here, but I was pretty sure that I would be dark the moment the sub goes underwater again. So it was kind of a low risk.
You knew Kitakaze was in the area. He was gonna shoot you.
I mean, I kind of wanted him to get spotted again.
Okay.
So
Alright.
One of the
thing
good
I'd like
things
to-
about the ship with having the crappy guns is like your gun bloom isn't great either. So you go dark again fairly quickly.
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like Yugumo or the other IGN torpedo
It's even-
destroyers.
No, Yugumo has great range.
Hey,
You
Kanaka
sure?
Spar.
I don't
Yeah,
recall it
Yugumo
being
has
that
almost
good.
Yugumo almost has 12 kilometers.
So,
Okay, maybe I'm thinking Kagero.
Yeah,
I paused it
probably.
here for a sec. I want to point something out. You're really kind of on your own now. And
Yeah, I noticed that my cruiser that was spawning on this side is leaving and my Burgon turned away.
well, not only is that Yoshino leaving, he's already at half health as well. So that's oof. You might need to start thinking about getting the heck out.
I mean, I am pointing with my nose towards getting out. Like,
Mhm.
it's just the whole reason I'm.
Well, and that's part of why I paused. I wanted to point out for other people who are watching too. This is why it's always helpful to be pointed away and not in. So because he's pointed away, he can just hit W and back off relatively quickly.
like it was pretty much clear from the moment that Sub is here in the cap plane that I will not be able to get in this cap in any way, and
Yep.
have to make sure that I.
So you're trying to spread out your torpedoes to try to get multiple sticky floods on the Slava?
Yeah, I was spraying them out that just to even get a hit, like with how low he is. Maybe one flooding kills him.
Right.
He was also maneuvering quite a bit, like going narrow line was probably miss.
How dare he start dodging and try not to die.
Right.
Well, A is open, so you can, or is being taken, so I suppose you could always just start dumping torps in there. Luck chuck them.
I think that's actually exactly what I'm doing now.
And the big question is, are these guys going to push you afterwards? You dropped depth charges. Oh, because you think the sub might be coming after your Burgon and Duncan. It's not too bad.
I haven't seen him in a while and figured like just dump one set, see if we get hits.
Oh, hello, Holland. Nice.
Yeah.
There's the sub. This is the part you're going to open up. I can sense it. Oh, and you hit the
Yeah.
Starkey to Kaze, too. Here's where you wish you had
And
your engine boost available.
Here's my engine
Unser
down,
Team hat die Führung übernommen.
repaired it to hope to get out.
Yep.
Feueralarm.
And-
Problem gelöst.
There's my engine again, on fire, pinged by the submarine.
Torpedos auf Steuerbord.
Yep.
Torpedos achter aus.
And here comes your death.
Maschinenboost aktiviert. Torpedos achter aus.
Now you're trying to dodge. I think you did that too early. I think if you'd waited and started dodging right about here, you might have been able to.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. It's tough enough to dodge these torps when you're pinged, but doing it while your engine is out
Mm-hmm.
and you're running at very, very low engine power is just...
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, this was, I think, about my 10th game in the ship on this server and like one or two more on EU. This was the first time it actually, where this happens, that engine gets knocked out while I'm fighting and spotted, I DCP it, and then I get spotted right after.
Let's see if I can get.
The thing is, I'm not even sure if Last Stand would have saved me there. Because I'd still DCP the first engine knockoff just so I can gain my distance and try to get dark. Unfortunately, what happened is that the Holland set me on fire, negating it, and then I got more and more in. So yeah, I would have been more maneuverable with the Last Stand, but I'm not sure if it would have been maneuverable enough to dodge the submarine torps.
Oh, I love this death pick. Look at this. You're taking it up the butt, broke it in half, and it says Jager. That is good stuff.
You gotta take this if you put it on YouTube. You gotta go into paint, cross out the Jaeger, which means hunter, and change it to hunted.
Okay. So just add a D to the end of it, Jaegered.
Yeah, that's not how it works in German.
I know, I know.
Alright.
So I think
you
the
had
fun. Go ahead, SAT.
I think you did have a chance to save it there, but you have to change how you use your DCP.
Mhm.
So, for Last Stand, the great thing about it is you don't have to burn your DCP just for that engine. So if it gets knocked out, you keep going, and you save it for that fire, or about to disengage.
Or the ping with the torpedoes coming, right? Like.
Okay, I mean, here's the thing, like, if I had the Last Stand, I would have definitely thought a little bit longer if I can get a way out of detection with the broken engine.
Mm-hmm.
And I might have been able to do that. But because I didn't have it, I DCP'd immediately because I knew I would otherwise be a sitting duck. So I would probably be able, like, if I don't use it the first time, I definitely get away because I have
Now-
the DCP still available. I can DCP the ping and everything, and it would have been fine. But
Going back to the other part of it, which is the engagement with the sub, I think you also had a chance to dodge the torpedo. Like I said, I think you just started dodging too early.
I don't think I could. Not with the broken engine.
Sure, because torpedo homing stops at a certain distance away from your ship, and I know
Yeah,
it's different for each
200
class.
200 meters.
Okay. So, if you know it's coming at 200 meters, if you're turning one way, what you could have done is you kept that turn at a half. You don't go full, but like at half, and then when you get close to that 200 meter, go hard over the other direction and completely throw off their aim.
It works if your engine and everything works at full power.
Yeah, I don't
ta-
think with a broken engine, I don't think he would have enough maneuverability.
I don't know. I think he could have done it, but it would have been super duper close.
I mean, I had accepted my death at that point. I could have
Maybe.
definitely tried harder, maybe, but I don't think it would have worked. Not in that condition.
I think he would have mitigated to maybe dodge 1 or 2, but not all 4. That would have been too hard. And if you're not running that mod that tells you when the homing turns off, then I don't think it's possible at all.
Right. It's really tough. I mean, we're talking about a 5% chance of pulling it off. So this isn't something like, come on, Grunty, why didn't you just dodge? Like,
But it made me realize, like, you just can't play it without the last stand. Like, every single game I had today was with submarines, and the whole idea of you're the stealthiest ship in the matchmaking and you get away with not getting spotted, you will not lose your modules. It just doesn't work.
So yeah, Seal, all of his torps that hit destroyers, they cost floods.
Yep. Now this is something that's cool. This was just added with the patch. Now we can see the actual replay results. We can see your screen. We can see how you did compared to everybody else. We can go into detailed reports, and we can see, okay, so you did manage to torpedo and flood the Slava 3 times. You hit the Kitakaze with 2 torpedoes. Both of them caused floods. And then the Holland, same deal there. So at least you got good mileage out of your flood chance.
I mean, against destroyers, it's easy. Like, you pretty much always get the flooding. They don't have the torpedo protection.
And then here's your...
lucky against the Slava, though.
Yeah. Okay. And then you're using some of the different...
I'm running blue
Yeah.
boosters on it. Like, on
Yeah.
tier 9 special ships, you can make good credits and XP and everything. And there is still the bonus mission running too for extra.
Yeah. So, I mean, it ended up being a win. So that's good. And even though you died, I think the important thing is that you managed to essentially blunt the enemy push of, 1 sub and 2 destroyers. So
Yeah, I got mileage done before I died.
Yeah.
Like, if our sub maybe doesn't die like this, maybe I even get away. Like, I flew a bit too close to the sun there in the end too. Like, I should have backed up more and not try to get that close maybe.
Sure. It's interesting too, you had the Q dump at 9 a.m. local time for you. Huh.
Yeah, that's like 9 a.m. local time.
Yeah.
Is like no, not 9 a.m. local time.
Well, it's the starting time is 0900.
That is your local time you're seeing there. That is
Okay.
not my local time.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
I was like, no way. Like, that game had to be like 3 or 4 p.m. my time.
Well, that would make sense because Europe is 7 hours ahead.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay.
I played this afternoon. Like,
Okay.
pretty much.
Cool.
But
Well,
yeah, I think I sent it in like said I want to try the Swift in Silence build, and I think I can make it work without the last stand. And I think it's a lesson for everybody that I can't make it work. You probably can't either. So play it safe. Take the last stand.
So I'm gonna title yours. I've already put it down. Safety first.
Why not always use protection?
Well, that's if you detonate.
Oh, fair enough. I didn't detonate.
No,
I just took it up the butt.
you did. You really did, and we have pictures to prove it. But anyway, thanks for sending that one in, Grunty. It's nice to see what you can do with the ship, and what I love too is you're talking through how even you've played this game for a long time and you're very experienced, but yet you're still looking to tweak things here and there. There is no like one thing you do and that's it. And I think that's an important lesson for everybody who's playing through this game. You never completely master everything.
Nope, you definitely don't.
All right, just to see how it works, I'm going to click the watch again button, but we're going to move on to Rob's game.